State television company Western Armenia represent the most important news for today. Good day. Today's broadcast. Commemoration ceremony in Yerevan in the memory of the victims of the genocide against Armenians. 42 years ago, the pogroms of Maragha took place. Researchers of the Genocide Museum Institute in Yerevan study archives of different countries. The historical element does not change. The status quo of Jerusalem is being changed. The exhibits of the Museum of the History of Armenia are at the exhibition in the Doge's Palace in Venice. Artsakh Jazz Orchestra celebrates the 20th anniversary with the concert in Yerevan. Commemoration ceremony in Yerevan in memory of the victims of genocide against Armenians. The President of the National Council of Western Armenia, Armine, the Chairperson of the Parliament of the Republic of Western Armenia, Sahakyan, Deputy Prime Minister of the Republic of Western Armenia, Armine, Speaker of the Government of the Republic of Western Armenia, Armine Sahakyan, kindly invite you to participate in the commemoration ceremony of the victims of the genocide against Armenians. The ceremony will take place at the Tsarnakhobert Memorial Complex on April 27, in this year 2024 at 12 o'clock, under the patronage of the President Armine. In 1992, on April 10, units of the Azerbaijan Armed Forces massacred the Armenian civilian population in Maragha village of Maragha district of Artsakh. Pogroms in Maragha are another way of Baku's policy of hatred and enmity towards Armenians. After a prolonged shelling on April 10, Baku's armed units attacked the village of Maragha, slaughtering civilians and destroying the village. Moreover, Shahin Tagiev, one of the commanders who carried out the Maragha massacres, was awarded by the title of National Hero, serving as an example for Ramil Safarov in 2016 for April War, and for 2020 Baku was criminals to the Artsakh people. After 2020, Baku continued its aggressive and genocidal actions. The forced deportation of Armenians of Artsakh, the purposeful destruction of cultural heritage as well. Baku's actions should be properly assessed and condemned by the international community, and the perpetrators of the war crimes should be brought to justice. In recent months, the Genocide Museum Institute has initiated studies of large and small archives of different countries in order to further activate scientific research activities. In 2023 December and then in 2024 in March, Regina Galusyan, Anna Ghazaryan, Shushan Khachatyan, researchers of the Museum Institute of the Genocide against Armenians, were sent to Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, to study the documents related to the placements of Armenian refugees and orphans in the Caucasus after the genocide. As part of the business trip, Bogosyan visited the Jewish History Center in New York and the Rare Books of Manuscript Library of Columbia University, where he also studied the collections of Raphael Lemkin. The materials separated as a result of these business trips and are of primary importance for the studies of various episodes of the history of the genocide against the Armenians. They will be processed by the Genocide Museum Institute researchers and will be presented to the general public through scientific publications. On April 10, Maragha ongoing genocide during the discussion entitled Uninterrupted Struggle Artsakh Human Rights Defender Geram Stepanyan said that even today the danger has not disappeared. You will see that international human rights organizations, including Genocide Research Center, are constantly raising the alarm about the genocide threatening the Armenian people in Armenia. And at least I don't know how simple-minded I should be not to see all this and to say let's give up the historical Armenia and talk about the real Armenia. Well, you will talk about that, the real Armenia, but your historical enemy does not change. In other words, the gun comes to hand and kill you, and you talk about, I don't know what you talk about, the neighborhood. And this danger will not disappear. In that background, there is a real story of how to destroy that danger. And that real story was the army of religious, that is the armed forces, which gives you the opportunity to protect yourself and not let the chain of genocide repeat itself, said Geram Stepanyan. In other words, what else need to happen with people to understand that there is no other option than to bring them to justice by their own efforts using international courts. This is the way that can prevent this continuous chain of genocides. The reason is deeper than the security of our compatriots an attempt is being made to change the status quo of Jerusalem. Vahan Kostanyan, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Eastern Armenia, said this in a conversation with journalists on April 11. According to him, the Armenian Foreign Ministry, communicating with Arab countries and other partners, raises the issue. We were aware of the events from the beginning of the process. We have not ignored the problems for the single second, said Kostanyan. It should be reminded that the Armenian Patriarchate leased the co-park in the Armenian district of Jerusalem to Israel company for 99 years, but then announced its decision to terminate the deal. After this, the situation between the settlers and the Armenian community escalated, which regularly escalated into clashes. Remarkable 42 exhibits of the History Museum of Armenia are presented in one of the prestigious museums of Venice. The Worlds of Marco Polo opened in the Doge's palace. Within the framework of the exhibition, more than 300 exhibits from Armenia, Italy, Greece, Germany, Spain, Denmark, China, Qatar and other countries were exhibited. History Museum of Armenia, such masterpieces as the 14th century are displayed, one of the wooden card bookcase and a fragment of a silk fabric with gold thread texture. The exhibits are accompanied by explanatory text and maps with the title The Two Armenians and Marco Polo's Entry into Asia, and Armenia, the Land of Kings, Fabrics, Trade and Culture, which enable visitors to travel through the medieval Armenian world of Marco Polo's time. The exhibition will be open until 2024, September 29. Artsakh Jazz Orchestra is celebrating its 20th anniversary with a concert in Yerevan. The team of musicians from Artsakh were joined by legendary cultural figures from Yerevan. We inform you that since 2021, the Artsakh State Jazz Orchestra has been led by Yerevan-based trumpeter Tigran Suchian, and the orchestra, with its current composition, has not stopped its activities even after the occupation of Artsakh. The Jazz Orchestra in Artsakh was formed in 2003 when Lira Kocharyan, the director of the music school named after Sayat-Nova in Stepanakert, suggested instrumentalist David Assaturyan to create a jazz orchestra based on the base of the school. Assaturyan proposed this idea to pianist Tigran Lalayan to jointly form the orchestra, which was eventually founded with the support of various musicians and non-musicians. Later, already in 2005, the orchestra received state status as the Artsakh Jazz Orchestra, whose director at that time was pianist Tigran Lalayan. This was all for today. Goodbye.